Hello everyone. Rarely in life does one come across someone who's so inspiring, who leaves a mark with his story. But what if the story is true? Ladies and gentlemen, I have here with me Captain Rakesh Walia, CEO of the Giant Matrix, who has recently turned into an author with the launch of his autobiography, Broken Crayons Can Still Color. Along by his side is his beautiful wife, Mrs. Anupam Walia. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Walia.
Thank you. Pleasure is ours.
I've read your book from cover to cover, and I must say that it was really inspiring. So what touched me the most were the events of your childhood. So how did you cope with the pain, and what were your feelings at that time? Did you find it unbearable?
The pain, I would call it, today we term this thing as a pain. For me, it was much more than that, because it was physical, it was emotional, and it was psychological. All put together in front of a small child of 10 years, you can well imagine what his state of mind could have been at that time. It was really very difficult, and I lived in that pain and hunger for years together.
So as a teenager, did you ever feel lured into easy temptations or taboo indulgences?
Who doesn't? I am a human being. I too have a heart. Okay? And heart does get carried, swayed away. But then you have a mind too. I always had and felt that I will keep a strong head over my heart, and that prevailed every time. Probably I was so focused that all these things, which is an easy lure or an easy money or easy going, never ever overcame my path, because the determination to succeed was so strong. All these things hardly mattered in life.
So what made you feel that the army and serving your nation was your calling at such a young age? What made you so focused?
You see, at every phase when you see, we in India produce certain type of professionals. Like today, everybody wants to do MBA. There was a phase everyone wanted to do, say they wanted to become doctors, engineers. At that time, there was a craze to join the army. I had no idea how to go about it, but my focus came, as you said, to serve the nation. I would always hear at such a young age people calling Bharat Mata. The word Mata hit my head. I had something missing in me, that is Ma. In case I could not serve my own mother, my vision grew, and the vision became, I will serve my nation, because that was my mother, that was Bharat Mata.
Mrs. Walia, your husband is a man who's an inspiration to many, but you know him the way that nobody else does. And he's described you in great detail. He's dedicated the entire chapter to you. So did you motivate him to write the story?
He has always had the desire to put his life, what he went through, to people across. I think it's the right time, and I supported him in whatever he did. He wanted to put across, and so I think he started writing his autobiography about some time back, and I gave him all the support he wanted.
We all respect the army, and we know what a difficult, life-risking experience the training can be. So where did you get the strength to sustain in such an environment?
From your sentence, I pick up this word risk. Where isn't a risk in life? You drive a motorcycle, you are at risk. You drive a car, you are at risk. Whatever you do in life has a risk, but you need to be careful. Yes, army training is difficult, and I was not meant for the army training. Anything what you do in life, in case your mind can think of something, you perceive a thing, then you can achieve it. Two things always come to my mind, which I sometimes narrate, and it is a strength of your mind. not the pain your body goes through. Like even today, when I go to bed, I pray to God, God, you had been so kind to me, you have given me all the luxuries, I have nothing else to ask from you, but please don't punish any human being in life the way you punished me, because that man may not be able to take on that punishment. Now that punishment is not in a wrong sense context I am using. I got seasoned, I got toughened mentally to go through the phase of my army career.
So, Mr. Walia, how difficult was it for you to bid farewell to the army? And how different do you think is the civil life from the army life?
To be very honest, given a chance, I would go back to the army even right now. Army was just not a career for me. It was something, when I told you about 5-10 minutes back, it was serving Bharat Mata. The day I hung my uniform, I lost my mother the second time. It was so painful. And to settle down in the civil life, you can well imagine, you kill a person and you ask him to walk, how difficult is it for that man to walk without legs? It was very, very painful to come out of the army. Settling down in the civil was yet another inexperience, which for me was really, really difficult. The reason is, today I can see in the civil, people work just for money. You get incentives to work, you get your salary, over and above you get bonuses, employees insurance schemes, so on and so forth. There is no sense of duty. With the army and a humble pay, you are ready to die for the nation. So there are two extremes of jobs. And I still recollect my first day when my commanding officer took my interview. He asked me a question, very simple question, son, what made you to join the army? And my prompt reply was, sir, I have joined the army with one ambition, and today I regret I could not fulfill that ambition, and that was, I must come back wrapped in national flag.
So what made you click in the corporate world, and how has your experience been working with some of the best brands?
I would say I have yet not clicked in the corporate world. The corporate world, purely my view, works in a totally different phase of mind, and rightly so. The motive, and a pure motive, is to earn money. Money for the entrepreneur, money for the stakeholders, and that is what the economy works for. But how and why did I click in the corporate world is purely probably because of honesty, dedication, and transparency in my functioning. Till today, nobody can touch or raise a finger on me. This is, Captain, you did wrong. In case I ask my staff to be in the office at 8 o'clock, I make sure that I reach 1 hour before them. As a leader, you need to lead from the front, and you need to be accepted by your people. I feel personally, and especially in the corporate world, there are hundreds of eyes and ears watching on you and your conduct. So you have to exhibit that. That is one of the quality which I developed while serving in the army, and it paid very well. Yes, I have been associated with the iconic brands globally. I worked with Virgin Atlantic, Continental Airline, All Nippon Airways, Lot Polish Airline, Stick Travel Group, I worked in the stock exchange. I am the CEO of Matrix Cellular Services today. I reached where I am today, but step by step the journey had been achieved, and I feel satisfied. Where have I reached? Purely with no support, with no links and pings in the industry, and with no manipulation. Here I am in front of you giving this interview.
Captain Walia, what made you share your story with the world?
You see, I had lived a life which I myself don't know how I have walked that fire. It's been a roller coaster ride for me. I've enjoyed the journey at every step of my life. Whosoever reads this book, Broken Crayons Can Still Color, A Soldier and a Fighter, will see for itself that there is a lot of depth in it, which today I feel, especially the youth, are lacking. My vision is that my work must reach millions and millions. I don't want to make profit out of this. I don't want to create something bigger out of this. But yes, it is a humble beginning that I want to share my life journey with anyone and everyone, and in case they get inspired a bit out of this, I would have achieved what I wanted to achieve in life.
Hey viewers, I'm falling short of words right now. I'm totally spellbound by the story of Captain Walia. I've interviewed many people, but I've never come across someone who's so humble and yet so successful. So if you would like to know Captain Walia more, please grab your copies of Broken Crayons Can Still Color today, and trust me, your life will change.